Let's do a little experiment. I'm going to flash up two faces on the screen and I want you to instinctively decide which you think is more attractive. Don't think too hard about it, just go with your gut reaction. So, are you ready? Which is more attractive, A or B? Let's do another one. Which do you think is more attractive, C or D? Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that the ones that you found most attractive were B and D, which were the right-hand image in each of those pairs. So now let's compare those two. Again, don't think too much about it, just go with your gut reaction. Which is more attractive, B or D? So if you are like 86% of people who did a similar trial, you would have thought that this face was most attractive overall, face B. Now obviously it's the same actual face in each image, so what sets this one apart? This face represents a person whose diet is high in special compounds called carotenoids. Now these carotenoids give this person a natural glow, which most of us feel is even more attractive than a suntan. So in this video, we're going to talk about carotenoids. We're going to talk about how you can eat them to give yourself a natural glow and maximize your own attractiveness. Make sure you stay until the end to get all the top tips. So a quick hello if this is the first time we're meeting. My name is Fiona. I'm a registered nutritionist with a master's degree in nutritional medicine. On this channel, we talk about nutritional skincare, which is the concept that the food that you eat can be an easy, effective part of your skincare routine. So let's just get into it. What are carotenoids? So carotenoids are yellowy red pigments that are found in a whole range of natural foods. So tomatoes have them, sweet potatoes have them, carrots have them, kale has them, spinach has them, guava has them, papaya has them, even egg yolks have them, and shrimp and prawn have them too. Basically, any natural food that is either red, orange, yellow or green probably has carotenoids. So why are carotenoids so good for your skin? Before we get into the detail of how you can eat these for maximum benefit, let's just look at a little bit of science. There are two really important things you should know. Point number one is that carotenoids are powerful antioxidants. Plants contain them to protect themselves from UV damage and other stressors, and when you eat them, they do the same thing for you. Point number two is that because of this function, when you eat them, they travel to your skin where they literally give you a natural glow. Now, a funny point is that the same thing is happening for flamingos. They are pink because they eat shrimp and algae which contain carotenoids, and then these carotenoids travel to their feathers, giving them a lovely pink hue. So why do we find it more attractive? Scientists think this is all to do with mate selection. Having carotenoids in your skin sends a message to others that you're healthy and that you'd probably be a good choice to procreate with. So we're intrinsically wired to find carotenoid coloration on the skin attractive to, carry on the population. Now, another important question is, does it work for everyone? Obviously, the faces I showed you at the start were of a white Caucasian person, simply because that is one of the images that was used in the original study. And it's easy to presume that a yellowy red pigment would show up more easily on lighter skin tones, but not necessarily. We also have a study with black South African people looking at black South African faces, and interestingly, they preferred the same level of carotenoid coloration as white British people looking at white British faces. And we have another study that shows the same is true of Hong Kong Chinese people looking at faces of Chinese people. So what this suggests is that the glow imparted by carotenoids is perceived as healthy and attractive cross-culturally. And it doesn't matter if you don't realise that's what you're seeing. It's kind of like when you think someone looks really well, but you can't really put your finger on why. Okay, so we know that carotenoids can enhance your appearance, but what does this actually mean in practice? How much of this stuff do you actually need to eat? And the answer is probably less than you think. So if you're currently eating an average amount of fruits and vegetables, which is somewhere between 2 and 4 portions a day, all you need to do is add another 3.5 portions to push yourself into this healthy, attractive, glowy skin dimension. In the UK, a portion of fruit and vegetables is set at 80 grams. But unless you want to go around weighing everything all the time, which I certainly don't, another way to look at it is a portion is like a heaped handful. So what would this actually look like in practice? So again, let's presume you're already eating the average 2 to 4 portions a day. Let's add another 3.5. So for your breakfast, you could add a side of cantaloupe melon. For lunch, you could have a side salad which has spinach and tomato. And for dinner, you can serve it with a lovely roasted sweet potato. In that example right there, I've easily added 3.5 to 4 portions of carotenoid-rich foods with pretty minimal effort. The rule of thumb is to look at your plate and think, is there anything red, orange, yellow or green on there? If there isn't, find something to add. Now, if you're struggling for ideas, I will flash up a slide here with some of the highest carotenoid foods, and you can screenshot that and use it for inspiration. So how long will it take? Look, I'm like you, I want fast results. Even if I'm taking an inside out approach to my skincare, I want to know that it's working for me pretty quickly. The good news is we have one study that shows that ingested carotenoids can show up on the skin in as little as 2 weeks. Now, other studies suggest that some carotenoids may take up to 6 weeks, but in the grand scheme of things, that's still a pretty little amount of time. And it's certainly no longer than it takes most skincare to start to work. The most important thing is that you eat carotenoids consistently and regularly, because if you stop eating, the levels in your skin will diminish. But I have to say they diminish much less quickly than a suntan fades. So there you have it. Food can make you more attractive, and all it takes is adding 3.5 extra portions of fruits and vegetables daily. Don't you just love nutrition science? Thank you for watching. If you like this, please subscribe, and I will see you next time for another video on nutritional skincare.